Oh, okay.
It's a Seattle Times article that's all encompassing in terms of the world that we're in today and what school districts are trying to do. And we can't satisfy everybody for sure.
Very true.
This is just a general question, and if it's overstepping any bounds, it doesn't have to be answered. But I was curious, are you still required to pay all of your teachers and everything full contract pay?
Yes.
You are, okay.
Okay, be advised, we are now live on YouTube.
Thank you, Bob.
YouTube, okay, thank you.
Hello, Allison.
Hi,
Are you feeling okay these days?
I'm feeling much better, thank you.
Good.
All right, now let me go see. Sandy, do you have access to the school board mailbox? I noticed you sent an email to it. Do you still have access to it?
Probably.
Okay, well, looking at it currently, there is nothing in the box. I deleted your test email earlier today. So there is nothing currently in the box
Okay.
for review.
All righty. Yeah, I was just testing to make sure the link worked, and so it does.
Okay,
Will we
I just-
have a flag for the pledge?
I don't have one.
Okay.
I do.
You have one?
Thank you, Jeff.
Very good.
Thank you, Jeff.
I got to be good for something.
That's great. I have yet about 6 minutes till we start.
Okay. We have a, in the living room by the patio door, we have a, well, how do I say this? A mini garden in the house, you know, there's probably 10 plants and different levels and all this stuff. And I always have this in one of our potted plants just as a reminder. So when you said we didn't have a flag, I said, oh, after I got off last week, I said, we do have a flag. So
Perfect.
If I was home, I could hoist one up on my flagpole in my front yard, but I'm not home. I'm in the office.
Very true.
Jeff took care of us.
He did, and thank you.
Thank you, Jeff.
Will we have Brenda yet too, or is this it?
She's texting me right now, and she wants to know if she uses she said, I wasn't in the test. Do I use video and no mic? I'm telling her to use both.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, and now we have Sally as well. Hi, Sally.
We've got Carrie. I saw Carrie.
Yes.
Yep, Carrie's there.
I'm coming
And
and
Bob.
going, trying to get my house to be quiet.
Bob, my sister went on to the YouTube live because she wanted to watch, but she just texted and said she's there, but she is not seeing anything.
Okay, there should have been 2 links that were posted. One of which was the actual school district website. That one is live because I'm watching it right now.
Okay, she said she went through the school district one.
Okay, and it's got at the top, school board meeting for 4/14, authorized for Shelton School District, and it's currently, why are we doing this now? Let's try this again. How many different places do I have to approve this thing? Okay,
Oh, she sees us now.
okay, good.
We have 4 minutes.
So can we see how many people are watching via YouTube?
Let me see, 5 watching now.
Okay.
Jeff, have you done this before?
Zoom, we do it quite often. We doing probably 3-4 meetings a week on Zoom. And then we put Teams, Microsoft Team is our inner office contact where we contact all of our people in the office through Teams, which
Yeah,
is really a great system.
yeah, it is a good system. That's what I've heard. But
Yeah.
have you done this in terms of a board meeting, school board meeting?
No, and I haven't, and I have a couple people in the office that we're trying to get on, figure out if they could watch it because they're trying to look at whether they want to do it with one of their clients. So I said, we'll report back, but it'll work fine.
Sure.
The hard part actually is not with the board, with the people in the district, is it's really the people watching on YouTube, and how you get questions is really the difficult part.
Well, we've kind of touched on that, and there's
Yeah.
a mailbox at the beginning of the meeting and at the end. So that hopefully will be
Yeah.
very nice for the community.
And Brenda still hasn't gotten on.
Is
Yeah.
Sally Brownfield on?
Yep, Sally Brownfield's on.
Oh,
Yes, she
hi,
is.
Sally.
Yep.
I'll check in with Brenda.
1 minute.
Yeah. And for those of you that don't know, that on that bar at the bottom, if you go to participants and click it, you'll have a list of names on the right-hand side of your screen and whether they're on video or muted, so you know exactly who's on. Hit
And
partic-
if you click in the upper right corner, if you change it speaker view to gallery view, then you'll be able to see, it looks like the Brady Bunch
Yeah, that's right. You
or
got it.
Hollywood Squares, and then you can see
Oh.
everybody.
That's
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah,
I can only see 9 at a time. Is that what you can see, Sally?
Well, that's all that's on here right now.
yeah.
Well, if there's more, can you all see? I have it on my iPad, so I thought I was limited.
Yeah, you can see more.
I'm afraid to touch anything on my computer.
All right, here comes Brenda.
All right.
There's Sally. All right.
And Brenda is joining.
There we
There she
go.
is.
Hello, Brenda.
Hey, Brenda.
There she is.
Hey, haven't seen people in so long.
Hi, Brenda. I miss you.
I know. We never get to see each other now.
Hey,
Looks like we all made it here. Looks like we all made it here, and it's 6 o'clock. We
All
ready to
right.
start? Is there anybody else we're waiting on?
Katie was thinking about being on. I don't know if she's here or not.
I don't know if she's not on the Zoom meeting, but she may be watching the YouTube stream.
Yeah, I think that's the case. Thank you.
Righty. So with that being said, we'll go ahead and call this meeting to order. And I want to start out with a big thank you to the IT staff for getting this all together, coordinated, and all the other staff that got everything else together that was necessary for this, different reports and things like that. So thank you all for your part in making this happen. So now we'll go to the Pledge of Allegiance, and we have Jeff there with our flag. So since he's got the flag, how about we let him lead off?
okay, are we waving standing?
Well,
Yeah, I think so.
All right,
We'll try that.
Are you going to stand? Okay.
I pledge allegiance
Allegiance
to the
to the
flag
flag
of
of the United States of America and to the republic
public
for which
for which it stands,
one
one
nation,
nation,
under
under
God,
God,
indivisible,
indivisible, with
with liberty.
liberty and justice for all.
Justice for all. Thank you, Jeff.
You bet.
All righty. Before moving on to the adoption of the agenda, I just wanted to note for anyone that's watching, seems like it's been a long time since we've had a board meeting. In fact, it's been 5 weeks. Part of that is because, of course, we had canceled a meeting because we didn't have all the technology ready to make it happen on such short notice. And also because we had a long month in March. We had five Tuesdays in March, so it really made it a long time. So even though it's been that long, the agenda is not very long because of the governor's proclamation that our business will be only what is usual and necessary. And so if anybody's got any questions about why the agenda looks a little light for not having met so long, that would be why. So have members of the board had a chance to review the agenda?
I move that we adopt the agenda for April 14th, 2020.
Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
All righty. It's been moved and seconded to adopt the agenda. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Okay. Any nays? All righty, the agenda is adopted. So now we move on to the part about community comments. This will be a new procedure because of the online meeting. School board meetings are streamed, and so we're prohibited from having a physical meeting. So we still welcome input from the public, although it's not a requirement of the Open Public Meetings Act. Community members can make comments by sending an email to schoolboard@sheltonschools.org. Comments will be read at the beginning of the meeting, and another opportunity will be given at the end of the meetings as if the meeting was in person. And Bob, do we have anybody signed in for public comment?
No, we do not.
All righty. We'll check in again later in the meeting and see if anyone has signed in at that time. So we'll move on to our monthly report on the bond projects with Jeff Feeney.
Well, thank you. It's good to see everybody.
Good to see you.
Yeah, good. Let me quickly go through all of our projects. Packages A and B are probably easiest to deal with right now, and we're waiting for the city of Shelton to sign off on the permits. There was a technical glitch that's being worked out between the architect on Mountain View and a few others. It has to do with a sewer inspection that we didn't know about. Everything is fine. It's just delaying the sign-offs so that we can get the final letter from the architects and then proceed to close out the project officially with the state. So everything's going on. There's still a few more punch list items on Shelton High School. Robert's not here, is he? No, that's who's missing. That we still have to get done. I just got an email, but there's just little things and we're just very close to getting it all done. And then we'll issue our final forms to the state and wait for all of the labor costs and salaries and everything else to be validated. And then we'll get on another few months to get that closed out. We go to package D and E. I'll go to E. The gymnasium is still moving on. The siding is pretty much on. There's a lot of things going on. At least that was based on the last time I drove by, but it seems to be going pretty well. No glitches, no comments from the contractor, so we'll take that as all good stuff. Package D, we have broken the 3 different contracts into D1, D2, and D3. I've been calling them that for a month, and now everybody's kind of catching up with me, and I think Brenda's now got officially 1, 2, and 3 in her files. So, but D1 is the baseball and softball fields. The work on the softball field is 99+% done. The baseball field is 99. According to the contractor, we have approximately 3 to 4 days of work to complete the project at 100%, but they're being held up just trying to get subs out there. If you drive out, the main things that are missing are like the railings in front of the dugout on the baseball fields and a few other little things, but the turf is done, looks fabulous. Everything is ready to go. We just need to get the crews back out to do about 3 days of work, and that D1 package will be done. D2, which is the mini dome and the pool. If you guys remember, our low bidder withdrew his bid. We had to redo the contracts, get the second low bidder in, signed up. They are going like crazy. The weight room and the wrestling room are gone. Pieces of the exterior wall of the mini dome are gone. If you went out there, they are just going like crazy. They're going to start tearing out the old concrete. They started draining the pool, I believe, last week. So this Sweezow out there is just absolutely moving at breakneck speed to get that going. So very, very pleased with what's going on in the D2 package, which is the work on the mini dome. So if you go out there and drive by, you'll probably see a lot of rock piled up. You'll see a lot of demo, a lot of ducting and everything torn out of the building sitting on the ground. And we did find some unexpected hazmat material. There was some vermiculite inside the block walls that had some asbestos in it. And we found a couple of connections that had some asbestos. We had it tested. The lab reported that it was approximately 1%. This just requires some air monitoring at the site during the demolition, and stuff that's being removed has to be wrapped or protected as it's taken off site. That's being done. It's not going to hold up anything and moving on just fine. So D2 is going great. D3, we did the final review of the contract today. The contract will go into the bid package tomorrow if everything stays on schedule. We expect 2 firms to bid on the track and the football field revisions and the alternate for the new field lighting. So I'll let you know if that goes out tomorrow, but that's the plan. So that's kind of an update. Everything is, like I say, D1, the fields look great. D2 is just going really well. And D3, we hope will start approximately May 4th with tearing out the track and the football field. And that's about it.
Okay, if I can interject something, I'm sorry to interrupt. Got a message on YouTube that said Robert Heron is actually watching on the YouTube stream.
Okay.
I have sent him an invite to join the meeting, but
Okay.
so far he has not done so.
Hi, Robert.
Thanks, Bob. Sandy, can I ask a question?
Absolutely.
The Bordeaux gym completion date, what is that, Jeff?
I don't have my file here, but my recollection is it's mid-July. We were a little ahead of schedule, but that's kind of gone out the window a little bit. But
Right.
I think it was always planned to be the July 15th, if I remember right. Brenda, is that correct? Your knowledge? Brenda,
That's what I remember too.
yeah.
Yep.
So
Midsummer.
yeah.
So excuse me, Jeff. So in terms of the total package, are we on schedule or darn close to where we thought we would be about this time?
Yes. The D1 package was the last of the baseball field was supposed to have been done March 26th. And we were pretty close to that when we got all this stoppage of school. So that was on fine. We're still targeting to be done in late August on the mini dome. And the D3 scheduled date for substantial completion on the football field and track is August 28th. And we're still shooting for opening up that field for the home football game on September 4th. That's our goal.
That's
And-
wonderful.
Yeah.
I'm
So we're-
hoping all that comes to fruition and this ordeal that we're all experiencing is lessened to a great degree.
Yes, yes. So it's, we should know tomorrow, like I said, the bidders have not seen all the dates. I shouldn't say that. The team we're working with on the baseball and softball field, Premier and DA Hogan, they know the dates and they've been putting together their fees and everything based on that. We expect that they're going to give us a good bid. They've been very happy working with Shelton. They've been paid on time. They think Shelton School District has responded to them very well. And so we're really expecting that same team is going to put in a very good bid for the track and the football field. So
No, that's great. Good
so
to hear.
that's what we should know in a few days.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments from board members?
I just wanted to say, I know, Jeff, you've got pictures of those things, like the fields being completed. And I'm just wondering if there's any way to share things like that with the public as some of these things become completed, since people can't walk out there and see them themselves and there isn't a baseball season being had. Is there a way that we can highlight, because they're beautiful and it would be nice to be able to get some pictures out there?
Let me work on this just for a second. I've got to pull up a couple of files and see if I can switch this over. Come on. No, that's not what I want. I want,
As a note, Robert Heron has now joined the meeting.
hi, Robert.
Hi, Robert.
Sorry, don't mean to interrupt. Please continue.
Thank
We're
you for
waiting at the
joining us,
moment.
Robert.
Carrie's asked if Jeff might be able to post a picture of the fields as
Yeah.
they are right now. And so he's looking to see if he can get that up on our screens.
Do I have to get on the shared screen?
Most likely, yes.
Okay, let me try that. If am I free to take over the screen for a second?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let me try this. All right. I'm not getting it to come up. Why is that not?
If it doesn't work now, are those photos something that Katie Diamond can take and do something to share those with the public?
I think that would be our best bet, Carrie. We can make that happen.
Any other, progress photos while this is going on? If those are appropriate to share, we can be putting things like that out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I can.
Nice to see.
Good idea.
I can send you some files. I'll have those sent out. I'm having difficulty getting the screen, the shared screen here. So
Please try it now.
okay. There we go. All right. How about that?
There
There you go.
it is.
There you go.
Yeah, that's all I needed. And that's the softball field. Let me give you a couple other views of the softball field as we go around. So you get a full panorama. This is before they put up the screen. This is the baseball field looking towards Oakland Bay. So you can see that's all done. You'll notice here on the dugouts that you don't have the railing in front of the dugout in there. And this is the home team dugout with less the railings that go on those black posts. Those are the things that have to be done. Everything else is done. And again, I showed you this. This is the transition between the turf field the newly sodded area here for the transition. And this looks awfully bumpy, but this just needs to be mowed so that it looks like this. That's going in there. And if you'll give me 1 second, let me see if I can do this smartly now. This is what I want to get rid of. I will go to, hold on a second. I'll get up the pictures of the mini dome, which I have also. Don't you love all this clicking?
Yes.
You can hear me clicking like crazy. Okay, now I'm going to come back and grab the screen again. And okay, these are the pictures. This is what's going on in the mini dome. You can see part of the wrestling room is torn, all the wrestling room is torn out, and the east wall is gone. Here is on the south kind of side. You'll see that we've knocked out other walls. This is stuff going on around there. This is demo that's come out of that. You'll see the walls missing again underneath the roof. This is the roof overhang on the mini dome. This is looking down through the wrestling and weight room and out to the outside. That wall is gone. So you can see this is the storage of everything in the gym. It's protected and covered up. And lockers that have been moved out of the locker rooms, ready to go in. And of course, just work that's moving around. This is stuff, the bedding for the removing of the sewer line. So we're getting to go on. And the site, just as people working out there. So that's everything that's going on at the mini dome right now.
Thank you, Jeff.
Yep. So
Thank you for sharing that.
no problem.
Thank you very much. And those colors on the field really pop.
Oh, they do.
Yeah.
They do.
Are there any photographs of Bordeaux's, Jim?
I don't have any in this file with me, but I'll see if I can get you some of those and send them in to Brenda to do whatever, put them on the website or whatever.
Yeah,
That
if
would
you
be great.
email those to me, Jeff, I'll get them to Katie and she can get them out on the website.
Okay.
That sounds great.
So yeah, we'll get the, so yeah, that's the status. There's like I say, the D1 is in great shape. D2 is flying. Robert's a lot of work going on there. We'll get some pictures of the pool next, because I think the next picture of the pool you get won't have any water in it. So
How about bid opening when, that'll have to be done via a meeting like this as well, correct?
well, the stuff on the next bid is going through, Brenda, help me, I forgot the word, KCDA.
KCDA, yep.
KCDA will do the bid opening and tell us who the low bidder is in the bids. And then that'll be done as a contract with KCDA to the district. And so this is not going to be a contract that the board necessarily has to open and see. It'll just be an extension of the KCDA agreements and fixed prices. So I expect those hopefully within 10 days.
All right, very good. Any other questions or comments from other board members? All righty. Thank you very much, Jeff, for that report and those photos. And we'll look forward to the ones yet for Bordeaux and sharing all of that with the public.
No problem. We'll get it done. See if we can get some, we're going to I'll get David or I'll go out there probably next week and see if we can get some pictures of the pool, and we'll do pictures of Bordeaux at the same time. So,
Sounds good. right.
if there's nothing else, then I will just leave the meeting and say, be well, be safe, and hopefully we'll see you soon.
Thank you, Jeff.
Okay, good evening.
Very good. Good evening. Thank you. All righty. Have members of the board had a chance to review the consent agenda? And do we have a
Move
motion?
we accept the consent agenda.
That,
Was that a, was it
I
moved and
second.
seconded
yes.
to approve the consent agenda? Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All righty. The consent agenda passes. Moving on to item 6.01, the proposed resolution number 2002, an emergency suspension of policies as recommended by WASDA. I think has everybody had a chance to review that model policy from WASDA? Is there any discussion or comment? This was recommended by WASDA so that the board could proceed with doing things that aren't normally permitted by policy, and it just allows us to suspend a couple of policies where needed so that action can be taken. So is there any further discussion? Is there a motion to approve?
I move that we approve the proposed resolution number 20-02.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the resolution 20-02. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Say nay. All righty. That is approved. That resolution is approved. Got to go back to my agenda. All right. That takes us to the superintendent's report.
Thank you, Sandy. Well, first of all, I'd like to welcome the community members that are with us this evening in a very, very different situation and board meeting. Thank you for joining us. I want to begin by thanking the community for their understanding during these very challenging and trying times. They're not only challenging for the school district, but they're challenging for everybody. And what I've appreciated from the community is they are looking for the good. They're looking for the positive. They're not looking for weaknesses in our system. They know for a fact that the challenges are many. Transitioning a school district from where it was prior to the virus to where we are right now and what we're trying to do for our kids and for our families is very difficult. And the things that we're experiencing as a school district, our government is experiencing at the federal level, at the state level, at the local level. These are different times. And what it's going to require is for all of us to be looking for the positive and to support one another all we can as we move towards resolving this particular issue, which is going to take some time, no question about it. Our schools will never be the same. Our world will never be the same after this challenge. There's no question about that. The way we are going to educate our kids is going to be different once we come back to school. I'm very proud of our teachers, our classified staff, our principals, assistant principals, our counselors, and my cabinet. They are all working every day. I can tell you that a majority of them are working 7 days a week. And we're working to provide an educational program that is personalized as much as possible, and not just providing something that is generic. Although we have programs that we've shared with our parents and families that are generic, that we've taken from various school districts around the state, we feel in the Shelton School District that if we're going to do this right, we needed first to find out what our teachers needed. And so we surveyed our teachers. Then, of course, in doing things right, we needed to find out from parents and students what they needed before we launched into an instructional program of support. Students and families can expect that we will be implementing our most sincere efforts to connect with our students between April 15th and April 21st. There is no question that there are many problems and challenges to resolve. And the system that we're going to be implementing and have implemented already is not perfect by a long shot. But I will tell you that every day we will be working to make things better for our kids. I would also like to thank our school board for all their support and patience so we can continue our efforts to do the very best for our students. Everybody wants to move forward. We want to be on step 12, but we can't get there easily. It's going to take time. And again, I appreciate the school board in their patience. Again, I would like to thank the building administration and counselors and staff for reaching out to all of our families and students just recently. We've really pushed hard. Our teachers are doing everything within their power to connect with students and families. And I believe that's going to increase as time goes on. There's an issue that really concerns me, and I know it concerns our community, and I know for sure it concerns our school board, and that is the issue of equity for our kids. It's a major concern as we move our system forward to meet the needs of our kids. And based on the fact that 20 to 30% of our students do not have access to Wi-Fi and the internet, this presents a real challenge to make sure that every one of our students gets the education that they deserve. As a superintendent, and I know I'm speaking for my staff and the school board, this is not a time to leave our students behind that don't have access to some of the things that other students have. This is America. This is a place where we reach out to all people. We reach out to all of our students to do the very best. And when 20 to 30% of our students are dealing with issues, social issues, like poverty, and not having technology, and not being able to access that technology in any way, that is a huge concern of mine as a superintendent, as well as our staff. So in our planning, we're taking all that into account. And the way we're going to handle that is we're going to put packets of instructional materials together. And whatever we have to do, we're going to make sure that those packets go to the students that are experiencing difficulty. We want to make sure that all of our students have an opportunity to get an education. So I've talked to people in our organization, and they're ready to step up to the plate to do whatever it takes to provide equity for all of our families and for all of our kids. That's extremely important in our planning. And, you know, there are school districts across the country and in our state that have moved ahead, and maybe they're ahead of us at this time. But I was reading an article this evening, Seattle Times, about a school district. And one of the major issues that they're having trouble with is equity. And there's some people that are saying, well, let's continue to move ahead and do whatever you can for those other kids. Well, that's not our philosophy in Shelton. We don't buy into that. We're not going to move ahead to just look good. We're not doing that. It may take a little longer, but we're going to do things right. We surveyed teachers, we surveyed families, and our teachers are very busy as I speak to put a plan together to reach all kids, not only through technology and remote learning and distant learning, but putting together packets of instructional materials that we're going to make sure that our students who don't have access to Wi-Fi, they have the same opportunities to get an education. That to me is a quality system. And that's what we're going to be here in the Shelton Public Schools. And we've got a great community that supports that. And they understand that. And I don't think our community would want it any other way. No way. other than to reach out to every family and make sure we do our very best to provide an education. So in the weeks and months to come, I can assure you that it's a full court press for the Shelton School District to do the very best for our families and for our kids. I thank you.
Thank you very much for that.
You're welcome.
At this time, we are back to community comments. Bob, has anyone sent any comments into the mailbox?
No, ma'am, they have not.
All righty. Then we will move on to board member comments. Who would like to start? All righty.
I'll start.
Thank you, Sally.
I just very briefly wanted to say a really big thank you to our staff. I had the opportunity to meet with a couple of them a few weeks ago, and I know that they are going to heroic efforts to put together a program that's really going to make a difference for our students. I know our teachers are working very hard. And I know our cabinet is working insane hours, and I just wanted to say thank you very much for all of that, and to Alex too, because we see his board reports and we know the number of days that he's putting in. We're taking a ship that's going in one direction and we're trying to turn it 180 degrees, and that takes time, especially when we're talking about putting a whole new system in place in a matter of weeks. And the fact that we have a successful food program in place, we have an amazing childcare program in place that other districts are checking with us on how we're doing it. And we're already have and are moving towards an even better educational program. So I just want to say thank you very much for all of the time and effort that is being put into place to do that. We know that it's no small feat.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sally. How about the other Sally?
Well, I'm learning lots of new things and ways of doing all of my work. I've been doing Zoom and WebEx and something about C3 something. Lots of different formats that all the different entities that I work with coming together. But again, a big shout out to everyone, at the district that's taken this on, and the parents and our kids that have been thrust into just instantly into a whole different way of being, and are making the best of it. And it's so much. And we're having meetings with WASDA going on weekly. And in fact, I know that it's probably hard sometimes for the public to know all the cogs in the wheel, but we have OSPI that we work with, and WASDA, and we need to be together, not just as a Shelton school system, but also as our state school system. And so there's decisions that need to be made at those levels that impact us and that we need to follow suit on. And in fact, they just did another one that just came out today that then we'll be needing to look at around graduation for this year. So we need to work together with everyone to make everything smooth and make sure that we don't put our children in any jeopardy by jumping the gun and doing something different. So, and I'd like to take this time to thank Sally Carr for doing the videotape over on our website about internet learning. I know it's brand new to a lot of people, and I'm sure their message was very helpful. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sally, for that. And now we'll go to Carrie. And Carrie, the two Sallys were up in the same corner in my screen and you were down on the other side. So that's the only reason I chose that order. So
No
you're-
problem. That's no problem, Sandy. And I'm going to echo what a lot of people are saying. Just thank you very much to all of you in the district office and to our superintendent. We see you working so hard. I always appreciate the board reports, and in those, it's incredible to see how much time and effort is being put into all of this, and it means that you care very much, and we all see that. And I know that sometimes our community doesn't get a chance to see that as much, and I want to be able to spread that word out there. We appreciate how much work you are doing. And I very much appreciate the food service people that have been working very hard to get thousands of meals to our kids in our community, and just in all the different ways that they have tackled that. It's been wonderful. And then the child service, the partnership with Mason General Hospital, who always has been such a wonderful partner with us. It's just been that's been a wonderful thing too, to provide childcare for our first responders and healthcare workers. So those things have been great. And because I do have two daughters in the school district, I've been walking through this, as many other parents are, every step of the way. I've very much appreciated the complimentary educational services that were put on the website originally, when we weren't quite sure which direction things were going or even how long this was going to last. Those have been helpful for me. I want to thank the teachers very much right now for diving in and doing the hard work of trying to figure this out. My daughters and I have both been on some trial video-based meetings to try to work through math problems. For my oldest daughter, she was so excited to be able to see 3 of her teachers and to see and hear some of her classmates. So it's really important to keep those connections going. And I'm very excited just to see where this is going to be. I know that all of this can be very uncertain, and there's a lot of stress around this situation, but I'm truly excited to see some innovation that's going to come in education out of this. I agree with the superintendent. I believe that education will not be the same when we come out of it. Now, what that looks like, I don't know if that's a dramatic shift or if those are small things that we learn that we can incorporate that are really going to help our kids in our community. I'm just very excited to see all of that happen. I've been participating in those WASDA calls as well. And I think that it's wonderful to see the collaboration across the state, because this isn't just a Shelton School District problem. It's every school in the state. And we're seeing that obviously this is affecting everybody worldwide. We're truly all in this situation together. And there's some comfort in that, because we'll be able to see some best practices that come out of it. We'll be able to take things and learn. And I do appreciate our community's patience as we go through this. And I appreciate their commitment to helping us out with, their students that are there at home. As a parent who is working, I can understand that juggle as well too, because I am now working full-time from home while I try to figure out how to help my children out. And my husband is leaving for work every day. So I know that there's a lot of parent situations that have that going on. And I know our teachers, many have small children or children of any age. And it's going to be a challenge for them as well too. And we all have to give people patience and flexibility as we go through all of this. And I just really appreciate the efforts that are being done. And I know we will all get through this. So thank you very much. Oh, one last thing. I did drive by and see the stadium lights too. I wanted to thank Trevor for being so thoughtful to think about that as a tribute and put that out there. My family actually got all dressed up in a lot of my old Shelton Climber gear. Both my husband and I were 92 graduates, so it was just fun to get our daughters excited about that. And it was neat to see different students or people that were driving by and also out there to see the lights, because it's just a way for our community to come together at this time. So anything like that has been very nice.
Thank you, Carrie. And
Sandy, if I can I interject for something, please?
sure.
Due to the delay between what we're doing on Zoom and the stream on YouTube, I do have a community member comment that just showed up in the mailbox.
Oh, okay. All righty.
Okay. Community member Anita Fox. I would like to encourage Shelton High School to hold off on a decision about graduation until more info is known about when we can get back to normal. Everyone I have spoken with would prefer to wait until July or August and have an actual ceremony rather than a virtual graduation online. Thank you.
Thank you very much to Anita for sharing that comment with us and utilizing our mailbox. Appreciate that. Hope she can spread the word too for other people that might still want to be in touch with the school board and share their opinions and comments as well. So anything else, Bob?
No, ma'am.
All righty. So for my board member comments, I would also say a great thank you to the community for their patience, for their plethora of ideas on all sorts of aspects to this, whether it's the recognition or graduation or how to get back into buildings, how to distribute Chromebooks and food and all the different aspects of this. So thank you to all of that. And the staff, there is a lot going on behind the scenes that the public may not see. And again, thank the public for their patience and the staff for all of their work behind the scenes. I also want to thank Sally for her video of the tips for online learning and schooling. We did a very good job, I thought, of getting a lot of information out there in English and in Spanish. And I wonder maybe if that might be something we could have her video transcribed or translated into Spanish too. We have the link that's in Spanish, but then as she does her speech, it's still in English. Sally Brownfield talked about some of the newest changes coming along. We may have policies that we may have to revisit or change in order to work with the upcoming changes. So we'll just have to keep that in mind. We do intend to go forward with the Drake Scholarship. And I believe Sally Brownfield is on that committee with me this year. And so we have time and we'll get started on that. Obviously, there won't be the same type of ceremony with which to present awards, but we'll see what develops in that arena too. So that concludes my board member comments. We have no need for an executive session this evening. Is there anything else from anyone? Anything I've missed?
Sandy, I just want to encourage anybody out there to revisit the school district website for updated information. I think that can get lost. Sometimes I know we put things out on social media, but a lot of that information can still always be found on our school district website. So if people have questions or they want to see anything or they need to contact someone, all of those phone numbers and all of that information is out there on the website.
Thank you, Carrie. That was a great suggestion.
It was a great effort by the district, and I heard a lot of appreciation from families about getting the Chromebooks out.
Good.
Yep.
That's great.
Yeah. So, all righty. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
You beat me to it. I'll second it.
So it's moved and seconded to adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
Hi.
All righty. Thank you all for being here tonight. I think it went very well. And we'll check your email for the next.
Just
Thank
real quick, Sandy, could I just thank Bob McMath and the tech department again? You're correct. For the first time, it went beautifully, and I give a lot of credit to Bob and the tech department and to Brenda, who oversees that department. Things went very smoothly, and I greatly appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you all.
Thank you, everybody.
Night. Stay
Night.
healthy.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
Night.